Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason.
And we are returning. I was traveling last week, so if you noticed, double travel. So if you notice some tonal differences, I forgot my microphone and so had to use other microphones.
Yeah.
For last week's recording that was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
It was when I first got there. So I found out, because I've been going and trying to get cast iron and thrift it and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I found out where it all is.
Is it all in St. Louis?
Yeah, there's tons of, I went to an antique store and there was tons of it, but I just I want to find it and restore it.
Okay.
More than I want to buy it, unless it's a really special piece.
Mm-hmm.
And the first antique store I went to had like 3 or 4 booths with stuff in it.
Yeah.
With a lot in it. And then I went out to hit a couple of stores and didn't find anything. But then I went out to Columbia, Missouri, so I could go to Centralia.
Mm-hmm.
And I hit some stuff around there, but one day I left work and there's another town about 10 miles over called Mexico.
Okay.
There's a lot of towns, like there's Paris, there's Cuba, there's a lot of them.
Okay.
But I went there and went to the Goodwill and I found a square Wagner ware cast iron, so nice.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Right.
From like the 1940s is, it's pretty. It's
yeah.
But it needs to be restored. it's got some build up on it.
Junk.
Yeah, and so I found, so that was cool. And then I was on Facebook Marketplace, and there's a antique store in Mexico that they're like, come by. We have over 900 pieces. I was like, what? But he only does it like the last Saturday of every month.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, so I have to plan my trip. But
yeah,
I was like, that's crazy. And there's pictures of like multiple pictures of just stacks and stacks, and there was a really cool one that was like this oblong casserole one, and it has a lid on it that has kind of spaces in it to let the air out, but it was the shape of a cat.
Oh,
I was like, if that's still there, I want that one.
Yeah. That's cool.
But yeah, I got that. I got some vintage Carhartt pants.
Nice.
And a sweet blue blazer. Like it's all wool and it's nice smooth. It's a pretty jacket. So it was a good thrifting time.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah. How was your week?
It was good. So I've been saying goodbye to, people I like that, bank with us. Not everyone, but one of them is the like general manager for the local minor league team.
Oh, cool.
So he's been coming in and like they get their their cash for their like concessions and stuff there.
Sure.
And so I told him, and we got to know him pretty well. So I told him I was leaving, and he started like tearing up and getting like, he was kind of upset. He's like you got to give me more warning with these kind of things. And he's
oh no.
And so we were talking about it, and he's like, I'll have to like come in with like the new team and new manager and kind of introduce myself and let him know what I want. And then at the end of it, he was just like, okay. He's like, well, darn it, I don't get to like people too often.
Oh,
yeah.
What? That's super cool.
Yeah.
It's not like you're leaving the state, though. You say, dude, let's hang out.
I told him like I'll still be around and, in the area.
Yeah.
And he's like, you've helped me grow my business, and I really don't know how. I just mostly do deposits for him. I wasn't, but he really, yeah. So he almost started crying, and then when he left, I started crying.
What I wonder what you did, like I don't know,
Uh,
just being positive,
yeah,
or
I was just nice to him,
that's
asking about his
funny.
day, and
Oh,
yeah, it was really sweet, and it was nice. We have like our first responders night that the bank sponsors, so I'm going to see him later this week at that game.
oh.
Um, but then I was thinking like, you know what, dang it, I'm gonna have to get into baseball a little bit, and
It, it's mostly sitting around and talking with people, so it's fine. You know,
yeah,
you could enjoy it because, well, that's really interesting. You should. Is he older or how?
yeah, he's like late 50s or so,
Oh, so like
not super old or anything. Like,
my age.
yeah,
Well, that's really cool,
yeah,
and you should at least talk to him again and see, at least exchange numbers, or
right,
say, hey, I appreciate the kind words and all that. So,
yeah, and their team plays the Portland Pickles here, so
oh, okay.
I wouldn't have to always go all the way up to Ridgefield or anything.
Well, you can also tell him you're at a new bank.
I did, yeah, I did.
We
Yeah,
could help you grow even more with this new bank. It's a better bank.
right. No, I
Well,
told
cool.
him like, a lot of it is just being closer to home and not having to travel as far. And he's like that's really why we switched up here. Like I was driving across, living in Portland, driving up here, and it was just
Yeah.
just the worst.
Oh,
So he understands. But yeah, it was really sweet. And then I would think about it more and start crying again. So
oh. Well, that's meaningful that you can, because you've had some tough times, but to be able to have, but also be able to see good in it
yeah,
is a fantastic state of affairs.
right. Yeah, that was the one point where I was like, I was, a little nervous, but like excited to leave. But that was the point where I was like, this might be a little harder to leave than I was intending.
That is unusual. I mean, customers are customers, but
Yeah.
to have somebody, to get to know somebody, I don't ever think about getting to know somebody at the bank. I don't
Hmm.
know. I guess if it was my business and I was, that would be something different. But
Right.
I haven't ever had a business account, so you know
Yeah.
that's it's probably different. Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
That's
That's
cool.
a neat,
So
neat, neat thing.
really nice and very, very sincere of him. And
Yeah.
I wonder how he's gonna be at the game, and he's gonna
Uh,
be a little less composed.
Kiss you full on the lips.
Yeah.
Kiss your banker full on the lips.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh man.
But other than that, it was a good week. But yeah,
Yeah.
been good.
Awesome.
Um,
Awesome.
so I was thinking what I kind of wanted to do this season of the show, and I
Okay.
think one of the main things I want to do is think of how this can be a little more beneficial generally. Like I
Okay.
think it's nice to point out like good pieces of art and stuff, but I also want to maybe improve myself, I think,
Okay.
and want to learn and expand my abilities. And I think something I've always, maybe it's just my own insecurities, but something I think about is a lot is just how I talk and just my voice in general.
Okay.
I think my voice varies a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I have like a very consistent voice, and it could just be all in my own head. But it was hard editing the first couple episodes of this
Oh
show.
yeah. Yeah.
I just hated it.
That's interesting. I don't know what it is, but early on when I'd record myself, I was just like, that's weird. I,
Hmm.
Somewhere along the line, I got used to it. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
when I started listening to the episodes back, I'm like, I don't. I'm enjoying this. I actually, it's sad. I'm enjoying the sound of my own voice, but it's not.
Yeah.
That but I was not offended by my own voice.
Yeah.
So,
I I always thought that like my voice sounded like surfer with a stuffy nose.
Yeah.
And like listening back to it, it's like that's not entirely wrong, but like
Right.
it's it's different than what I have in my head when I'm talking.
When you say it, I can hear it, but that is not what I would have said.
Oh yeah.
Like when you say it, like, oh yeah, kind of, I can see where that's coming from, but you have you have some similarities to your grandpa Mason.
Okay.
So you have some like excited, and this is a bad description, but excited like squeaky bits.
Yeah.
It like out like tones on the outside, and that's like he'd get exuberant and he'd pitch up where you'll do that sometimes, and then so
yeah,
I think there's some similarities there.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think like some of my biggest issues is maybe just and I think this is things you've said before is like my inflection with things.
Yes.
And then just sounding genuine. Like I don't think I always sound as genuine as I want to sound. And not that I think I'm lying all the time, but
well,
it's I think that maybe just comes down to the intonation and inflection that I put on words that I just haven't mastered.
You're doing much better over the last little while, I must say, because I'm not confused by what you're saying as I am sometimes.
Yeah.
So good.
But I don't know. I was talking to Chloe about this a little bit, and was asking like, is your voice something you think about very often? And she was saying that she does a lot, and I wonder how many other people really do like think about their voice, or if it's just like I'm just talking,
I think everybody has.
Mm-hmm.
And some people get to the point where they get comfortable with it. I still think about it a lot because I use it a lot, and so I have to be very careful with what I say a lot of the time. So that's where I'm thinking about it, is like, am I saying this in a way that's going to get other people raising their, putting their guard up? Because I want them to have their guard down and be accepting of what I'm going to tell them, because they have to do it that way.
Yeah.
That's the problem, is everything that I'm telling everybody to do, they have to do it that way, but I have to have them want to do it that way.
Right.
So they have to like, oh, I hate that guy, I'm not going to do it. So I'm very, very, very concerned about how I come across all the time.
Yeah.
So at work anyway.
I do think that's something like I do admire about, I mean, a bunch of other things too, but about you is I like hearing your voice.
Oh. Well,
I think it sounds very full and emotive, and is able to like convey ideas pretty well. Like if you're reading something, or it feels nice to listen to.
Oh, good.
And so I was wondering if that was something we could kind of explore, and maybe I could ask some questions about, and I sent you an email, and I have some reading excerpts.
Okay. All right.
One is just a paragraph from a book. The other one is some lyrics.
Okay.
And maybe see if it's something I can work on and try to improve on a little bit throughout. Because I think there's a lot of things I want to read, and I feel like, maybe it's just my own issues with myself, but like, I feel like in the past episodes when I've been reading something or reading lyrics, like reading a lot of lyrics, I don't feel like I'm presenting them very well.
Okay.
And I just want to be able to feel more confident about how I'm presenting them, and maybe make a little bit of a better, listening experience for whoever's out there.
That makes sense. That and I can give you, like, I can tell you where some of it comes from. So, and what has built the whole desire to be that way, because it is somewhat intentional
Mhm.
to and but I started very early on acting. So
Uh-huh.
I like in 6th grade we did Macbeth
Mhm.
I was in the gifted program. And so
Yeah.
we were doing Macbeth, and I wasn't anything close to a main character. In fact, my character has lines in Macbeth, but not in the version we did.
Oh no.
So fine. Uh, and then in high school, I acted and had the lead eventually.
Hmm.
And so there was,
Yeah.
and then I did did forensics, so I did the poetry at the
Right.
speech and debate type stuff. So there's been a lot of making that happen, and then I took
Like more academic,
right. Well,
study.
yeah, competing.
Oh yeah.
I had to,
Okay.
I had to compete and present my poem in a more interesting way than anybody else.
Hmm.
And what would really I had a weird odd poem. I did the cremation of Sam McGee,
Right.
which I thought was a slam dunk. And then I was in a competition. I had presented mine. Somebody came in, he was late, and then he did it the exact same poem, only 1,000 times better.
Oh.
So that killed it. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh.
it's interesting to see somebody in high school have that much presence,
Uh-huh.
and that's impressive. But and then I took a public speaking class in college uh,
Hmm.
that I took, and I was older,
Okay.
so I had no shame, and
Yeah.
and it was again it was competition. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
competition to not be timid
Yeah.
because everybody else was young, except there's one other old lady much older than me. There's there's a lady in the class who had to finally graduate from Mesa Community College because she'd taken every course they offer.
Oh, really?
So she was in her 80s.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So she was like, I have to graduate now. They don't have any courses left, or I have to leave, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, I mean, those are kind of the building blocks of I kept exposing myself to those kind of things.
Yeah. So, as far as that, that sounds like a lot of like early examples.
Yeah.
Before any, maybe not before, but during those classes, did you have a lot of thoughts about your voice that were like
I,
things you wanted to change or things you wanted to focus on? Or
yeah, I did. And a lot of it is because I can also was listening to my siblings,
okay.
and we had a variety of speech impediments
Hmm.
in some of the younger kids. No big deal. It's just they do. And some of my brothers have halting when they talk. They kind of catch their voice as they speak because they're kind of talking, and they're like and they can't.
Hmm.
They're not. It feels like they're unsure of themselves.
Okay.
Or I have other brothers that speak very deliberately because and not very fast, and you know uh, um so
Yeah.
and also like just now saying and having filler words, all of that I'm thinking about. If I hear myself say or have filler noises too often, I'm really beating myself up about it.
Yeah.
And that's the whole learning learning that it's okay to have dead air
Hmm.
in your conversation. You don't have to fill everything. You can be thinking
Yeah.
and think about your words and present the right word.
Yeah. I wonder how that it may come across sometimes with people listening to this, because I edit out a lot of ums.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
but that, yeah, that's, I've always thought that like my brain is thinking faster than my mouth can talk, which I think some of that comes from just the environment. I think Southwestern or like a little bit more of that Californian influence. There's a lot of fast talking.
Yes.
And so being raised in that, but then not, not having the mouth that can keep up with it so much.
and that's something too. Even my orthodontics,
Mm-hmm.
when I were impacting how I spoke and so when I got braces after, this is after we were married and everything, I got braces and kind of fixed my teeth.
Yeah.
And you're still, you still have some, yours aren't as bad as mine were, but sometimes that can play into it because that messes with the geometry of your mouth. And
yeah.
So
I know there's somebody I work with who she had like jaw surgery or something. And after, kind of had her jaw sewn shut. And then when she came back, she had this like British accent when she talked, just because it changed the shape of her mouth. Which I thought was really interesting because like deaf people who grow up in like in the UK, they can still speak, but they'll speak with a British accent because they're copying the mouth shape.
Right.
And so if it's someone deaf in the United States, they won't have that accent, or they'll have whatever regional accent is.
It's not. That's funny that when you take one of the most helpful things, speaking of mouth shape, is I was taking Spanish, some online Spanish thing, but it was telling you that an English version of the sound is the front of the mouth and the Spanish version is the back of the mouth or something, you push your tongue this way or this way. And that helped a lot with understanding how to pronounce things. So that's interesting.
Yeah. That was funny. Elaine took German all through high school and now lives in Germany, obviously. But she was saying that her teacher was like, if you're going to speak German, you have to get used to not looking attractive when you speak it.
I keep getting these reels of German words for things that are hilarious because they have a lot of conjunction words where they put the ideas together.
Yeah.
And they're very descriptive. But they do something where we would take two words and just describe it as they make it a word. Cool.
What is some early advice that you got, if you can remember?
Sure. There's a couple of things, and they're in different contexts. So
okay,
we've already covered, you watch the filler words and you don't have to fill all of the space. Sometimes people fill in the space because they're trying to compete with the others in the conversation. And it's the same when you're conducting a class, let's say, and you ask a question, you have to be willing to let things get awkward. If you want participation to happen. Things of that nature. I've taken a lot of classes or conferences and whatnot about presenting. Because I was a trainer at DHL.
Right.
And I went to a train the trainer event that was a full 5 days. Like I had to leave on Sunday and not leave again until late Friday.
Wow.
They were long days. Yeah. So that even taught me where to present from. So if the group is looking at you, you should be to the left as they're looking of your presentation or something like or to the right. You're supposed to be to the right of it so they can read and you can present. Like there's all these things so that you're not standing in the way or you're presenting the right way and how to hold your hands and all that. So, but early on, it was more about the fact that I was read to expressively. And so we've talked about how to read poetry.
Yeah.
And there's many different disciplines. And so I've always been of the expressive side. And so, like in my speech class in college, I read Gerald McBoing Boing and I
Yeah.
did sound effects and everything. But that's because that's how it was, these things were read to me in this way.
Right.
And so there is an oral tradition. uh, both my parents would read expressively.
Yeah.
So
Do you think you got more expressive when you were reading to us
oh yeah.
as kids growing up?
Yeah, I was trying to keep you entertained. Do you remember not only you though too. Uh do you remember I'd get like stuffed animals and make them talk?
Yeah.
That killed with you guys, but it also killed with like Lauren and so, we'd have those like Twinkie runs.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was the time. I mean, it's getting past midnight. Everybody's hopped up on Twinkies, and then I pull out a stuffed animal and make it do stupid stuff. I mean
Right.
that's just comedy gold, even if it's not. But
Yeah.
but it's always that you talk yourself into not being embarrassed. That's the constant. I mean,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people that have difficulty speaking or are concerned or self-conscious, it is difficult. It is. I surprise people. I'm a shy person that nobody knows is a shy person.
Right. Yeah.
I still have to. It's still agony to try and to get up and go and do stuff. It's less so. I can get up and talk. I can get up and present, but I am very comfortable with the material. Right.
Yeah.
And so that, it's all that. When you're an expert in something, it's easier to speak. When you are comfortable with the people you're around, it's easier. When you have some success at speaking, the next time becomes easier. When you just don't care, it becomes like sometimes I'm just like, when I went to apply for this job way back when, I didn't care if I got the job. I had a good job. They had reached out to me. And so I was very comfortable with what I was saying, very relaxed, didn't care about what I was saying. So,
yeah. I do think like as much as I may have like some, lots of thoughts about how I talk, I do think I interview for jobs fairly well. Like almost every job I've interviewed for, I've gotten.
Oh, cool.
And I've applied for a lot more than what I've interviewed for, but once I actually get to talk to somebody, it manages to go fairly well. And I think all I'm really doing is just being honest. And even if it's a job I want and I'm interested in, I'm still being honest about who I am. I'm not trying to make myself seem grander than I am.
Right. And that's just sound advice too. Whenever somebody's struggling the tendency is to think, and the lie that's told is that, they'll never check your resume. You can just make it look right and it'll be fine. But lying on your resume doesn't help you, because they're going to pick that one thing that you really don't know how to do, but you said you did. And then they're going to give you the job, and then they're going to ask you to do it, and you're going to fall on your face.
Right.
That's just, you should always be honest in those things, because they'll just hurt you. And if you don't get the job because you're honest on your resume, that's probably okay.
Yeah.
Because there's probably something in that you can't do, that you wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
So that's good. I think that the fact that you can interview well is a good thing. That's shows some level of confidence in yourself. So
who or maybe what, maybe this isn't good sentence, but who or what was a role model for you?
Well,
I mean, you said your parents reading
yeah,
expressively, but is there any like
of
outside
yeah,
influences?
there are. So of course them, but also let's start with closer family.
Hmm.
So my on my mom's side, they're all very expressive, but
Yeah.
my uncle Dan and my uncle Kim, musical. They'd perform at Christmas family functions.
Hmm.
They play some songs. They'd always play kind of funny songs,
Mm.
and
Okay.
so those kind of things were neat because they were expressive about it. They were entertaining. I do have a history of people in my family that were in like vaudeville, in our
Mm.
family.
Yeah.
Way back when we do have heavy ties to entertainment. So there's
Yeah.
something there on the Stedman side. On the Mason side, they were hard workers.
Uh-huh.
uh, and then as I get into, let's say, more external influences, in sixth grade, we would we had a good friend group that were also very creative,
Hmm.
and they would. It was the early. I think maybe I just didn't realize it, but one of the kids, he was big into D&D at the time, which was very early on.
Okay. Yeah.
But I had there was that friend group. We were all very good at, let's say, creative writing, and we'd make up games all the
Hmm.
time on the school ground. And then there was some other kids in the church that were in sixth grade. He already had a clown business and was taking classes at ASU for doing clowning
Wow.
already. And so he and all of his brothers and their friends all rode unicycles. They'd play football, unicycle football
Wow.
on the yeah. So just and he'd do clown acts, and we'd do just different things, and being in and I was just all those kind of things were influenced, and the encouragement to write poetry, and then when you have to share it and try and express it.
Yeah.
Then what was also what found I had a talent for, which is kind of what you alluded to, is to read stuff and have people understand it,
Hmm.
which is kind of random to discover.
Yeah. Right.
But I would do like lunch and learn at times in at uh, at DHL because we were all wanted to do the broker exam,
Hmm.
and I would be able to read the Code of Federal Regulations, which is written in legalese,
Right.
but I would be able to read it to people and they'd understand it because and it was just that, like, take a fairy tale, you want to read it expressively,
Hmm.
apply it to legalese. So
Yeah.
it's all, I try and cross things over. So, and I had a really good drama teacher in high school who did a lot of different different exercises that weren't just running lines.
Hmm. Okay.
So, for example, we were doing Our Town, and for one of the exercises, as I was sitting across the table from the guy that was playing my father, and we had
Yeah.
to hold hands the whole time and read our lines between us. Just do that.
Yeah.
So we were, so there was a connection.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
yeah, different things like that, just to take you out of just doing the lines and learning. So there's been a lot of little influences and lessons, and then performing and trying to train people and make it entertaining,
Hmm.
et cetera, et cetera. And then
Yeah.
I don't know what's
S-
what have been influences for you? What do you think has made you aware of how you speak?
I think one of them I mean, it's not super early, but in college, taking a public speaking class was where I really learned that like how I can do it, and I enjoy doing it. I
Yeah.
think it takes more preparation. Because one of the things I really hated about the class was one of the first exercises we did is they took us into like the big hall where they had like their conference, and they had us read the teleprompter,
Oh, wow.
and I just could not do it. I could read a couple of words at a time, but like reading and speaking what I was reading at the same time was
Oh,
really, really hard for me. But with speeches like this, where I largely would just memorize it,
yeah.
um, it became really easy. I was able to, whether it was like the spooky story I told, I was able to like set more of a mood, or like the final essay, I was able to convey the feelings I want to convey because I didn't have to worry about actually reading it.
Yeah. Okay. That does it is interesting how much you can put into something when you memorize it because you're
Yeah,
not so worried about trying to get it all missing a line or whatever. And when it's in there, you start living with it and
yeah,
start feeling where it should go and getting to know it. Yeah.
right. And then I think a lot of, maybe it's weird, but like comedic singers,
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
big like Weird Al, or even like Fly of the Conchords, or later on Bo Burnham, they sound very genuine in what they're singing about, even though it's ridiculous. And
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and I feel like that's something that's always been hard when I've been singing, is I don't know if I always sound like I believe what I'm singing.
Ah.
Um, but I've really appreciated, like, obviously if it's a very emotional song to the person, that's, that connection is there. But if it's something like Eat It, where it's a very silly song, but he's performing it very well. And
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing that I think about
mhm,
when I'm listening to folks that it's that believability.
yeah,
uh, if they believe what they're presenting, I always think about maybe it's a silly thing, but uh, American Idol.
mm, yeah,
So if you watch those, there's a lot of people with really good voices that there's no depth
mm, right,
to, there's no conviction, there's no feeling, and that's what is frustrating about it. That's what doesn't work, is that it just doesn't it doesn't come across. And then so that's what
mm,
made certain artists that did show up there really spectacular, because they could just take a simple song and make it actually have feelings. So there's like a few
yeah,
seasons. Surprisingly, we watched it a lot. uh,
yeah,
but there is the first couple seasons I just couldn't get. Like everybody was just ugh. And
hmm,
then we like Adam Lambert came along, and you're like, oh, this is what real music. I mean, this guy's he feels it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then that kind of changed the whole thing. And I've seen a few since then that that are like that. So
yeah, yeah. That's why I always thought, like, I don't love the show, and maybe it's changed a little bit more now, but I've always liked the concept of The Voice,
yeah,
where it's just like you're going off of the raw talent of it all,
yeah.
and who can present their voice the best, and not anything else about them.
Right. And that's interesting too. I don't understand I haven't watched that show through ever, so I don't understand the whole uh what they do and when they turn around, but
Uh-huh.
but yeah. Yeah, that is cool that they do it that way. There's another event where they were trying to, the first, there's only two seasons I think, and the first season they were trying to get a new singer for NXS, a new
Oh,
lead singer.
yeah.
And then the second time around they kind of made up a group that was some guy from Metallica. I think Dave Navarro was hosting it, And
Mm.
there's a couple guys, and they wanted to find a lead singer.
Yeah.
And first season was really good. They got a good guy. The second season, I think, was totally rigged. I think
Sure.
they'd already picked the guy because he was terrible, but they had already picked him.
Yeah.
But there was another guy that did just the most amazing version of "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," but like
Yeah.
a rock, like kind of as if Cake did it, maybe a little
Right.
heavier. But
Yeah.
to sing a cheesy pop song and to believe it and to have that conviction sells it. So
Yeah. How do you approach like reading aloud or public speaking or like this podcast? And are do you approach them differently at all, or is it all kind of similar?
I think I approach it. It depends on I do feel like I tend to cold read a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and that I'm fairly proud of my ability to enunciate and pronounce strange words, and to do it on the fly, and to get the
Yeah.
context of something. I think that often, if I'm not really paying attention, I can start sounding like a Alice Notley poem where I'm, the sentence has 3 sentences in it, and I'm reading.
Right.
So I try and avoid that. If I'm really going for something like a talk, I do prepare. I've written it. I've read it through. I'm comfortable with it. I know where I want to go. I have the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm presenting for doing training for work and I'm presenting to a group, I know the material very well.
Okay. Yeah.
And so kind of intentionally, I'm not scripted
Mm.
because I
Right.
want open for questions. I want to take the discussion. It's kind of like therapy, right? I want to take the discussion where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people that I notice in a group when we're trying to present that get hung up on their presentation, and I avoid that like the plague.
Okay.
So I'll have a presentation, I'll run through it, but I don't have a set script.
Yeah.
I will put the effort into making a good presentation, but
Yeah. Right.
that's just there for looks. So,
Right.
and that's part of the things that you learn when you learn to do PowerPoint. You also learn that if you've put words on the screen, those aren't the words you're saying.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
there's all these tricks to looking like you've mastered the subject. And one of them is to not read your slides.
Yeah.
So
that's something I I remember learning in high school or something. Like we had to do our like goals for like the year. I forget what class it was for or whatever. But they always said like, don't just read your slide, and they showed like some little, you can have notes that only you can see on the slide, so it looks like you're maybe a little more put together. But then going to trainings, at this job, and where they're just like reading the slide, it's like I felt like we all learned this in high school. Like you don't just read the slide.
I am amazed at coworkers who don't understand that yet.
Yeah.
And can't I went to a train once with somebody. He no longer works here, so I can badmouth him. No. This won't jeopardize my job. He had a training
Mm-hmm.
that he had to present, and it was very, very, very important. It was a very serious topic that everybody needed to know in great detail.
Yeah.
And if anybody was 5 minutes late, they would have missed it.
Oh.
I'm like, this is an hour-long discussion is what this should be. And you sprinted through world record time through these slides.
Wow.
And it was pathetic. And and I just I like to teach. I like to present.
Mhm.
I was also amazed when I was a trainer how many people told me that they couldn't imagine doing my job.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there is some of it's preference, you know. I I couldn't imagine not wanting to do the job. This was the thing I
Mhm.
wanted to do. Luckily, I've got that job plus more with this, you know, that
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
feeds a lot of it feeds my ADHD so well.
Yeah. Isn't yeah. It's like it is interesting how like in the moment I feel like I maybe come across more awkward and unsure of myself or in like
Yeah.
little conversations, but like I like preparing episodes or preparing speeches in other
Yeah.
classes and stuff is really enjoyable even though I'm not much of a talker outside of that.
Being aware that being aware of that fact is automatically makes you better at it.
Hmm.
So there are a lot of people that speak that are not aware that they might be awkward, that they just speak and say stuff and don't understand that they're creating a moment that's awkward for everybody. They don't understand that people might not be understanding them.
Uh-huh.
The fact that you're aware that that might be happening automatically makes you better because you're trying to do things to combat it in the moment. Even if you don't
Hmm.
think you are
Yeah.
because it's a thought you're having.
Yeah.
So
Do you think there is I don't know how to phrase this, or are there things like that where maybe you felt awkward and maybe the solution is just leaning into it more?
sure. Yeah.
Because like so I think about this a lot. One time we were thrift shopping and Chloe got this bandana that had a bunch of motorcycles on it. And when we brought it up to the counter, where the cashier guy was kind of talking about, how hard it looked, or
Yeah.
how much of a biker thing it looked like. And my first thought was to say something about like cranking your hog, but I caught myself before, like, that might not come across how I want it to come across. um, but then I also like thinking back on it, I was like, I could have just said it and it would have been fine.
The thing is, it would have been fine and they would have laughed, or they would have given you an awkward look and they'd have a story later and
Yeah.
you'd be able to leave happy that you gave somebody a story. I can never believe what this guy said today.
Yeah.
I yeah, I don't always try and lean into the awkward moment, but I do often.
Mhm. Yeah.
Also, I try and be aware of, and this goes back to something you talked about
Hmm.
and a book you read about communicating with others and being more open and being, how to be more open to people, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the book? It's something.
Yeah. Like how to talk to strangers or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I had been trying, but since you talked about it, and I think we talked about it separately even before that.
Hmm.
Um, but since you've talked about that, I've been trying not to be just closed off all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try and limit it because, you know, but I'm
Yeah.
also been better about ending conversations when it's gone too long too. Like I've learned to also take control of conversations that would have gotten out of control. So
Hmm.
it's a weird balancing
Yeah.
uh, because those ones, that person's not being considerate of you, and you need to speak up for yourself.
Yeah.
But that comes after a while. Like you still give them some consideration, some you compensate a little bit, but you don't have to you don't have to give away all of yourself, and they're the only ones that get. So
Yeah. Cool.
so it's a weird, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
A balance.
A balance, yeah.
How much of your like training or practice feels like second nature versus like a conscious choice?
Now it's pretty second nature now.
Okay.
Most of it, but it's been more so in the last few years, and that comes with the fact that there's been successes. I have fairly important roles in multiple groups,
Hmm. Yeah.
and there's been some events that have come across that have shown that I've successfully communicated certain things, or that I've been told that it made a difference to somebody, and so that reinforces the technique, reinforces how I approach it.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, I think
So it feels pretty ingrained at this point.
it is, but it's there's several parts of it that are more recent than you'd think.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
Talking to groups of executives
Uh-huh.
is difficult, and it used to it would give me a similar feeling to a panic attack or to being angry, or where you kind of get a tightness and dry mouth.
Yeah.
And even when it was nothing, but if I knew they were ranked very high in the
Right.
company, or just somebody that should be respected, has a lot of power, has a lot of authority, which I never thought that maybe I put a lot into it. Maybe I built up something subconsciously that has started to subside. So that's an interesting development, but it's because of a series of having to talk to these types of people more often than is probably good for most people's career. But coming out of it successfully, and having them show an increased level of, for lack of a better word, of affection towards me, or friendliness,
Right.
make it less HR. To have them have these individuals who really could control whether I live or die at the company, to get on the phone and shoot the breeze with me,
Yeah.
that's a weird transition.
Right.
And has lessened that panic, anger, tightness feeling. I don't have that. It happened maybe 2 weeks ago or something. There was some thing, and it was weird because it wasn't the type of situation where that would normally happen.
Uh-huh.
Because I was already fine with the conversation. I already knew it was going to happen, but something around it just got me tight. And
Right.
but that's becoming a rarity. So I don't know if you've experienced that, or
I think a little bit, like maybe with earlier jobs, like grocery store jobs, you don't really interact with too many super executives, but like a district manager or something.
Yeah.
I remember maybe feeling a little more tense or a little more like watched if they ever visited.
Sure.
But I feel like with my current job, I interacted with executives pretty much day one because we were opening a brand new branch and they were very involved. And so like the CEO at the time would just kind of show up because he lived nearby, and maybe it's just, we had very chill, executives at the time. But now, like, I don't feel too nervous seeing too many executives. Like our current CEO, the first time I met her, she made a fart joke. And so I've never had, I haven't really felt intimidated by her.
And most of your interaction has been face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have this problem face to face.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think it's because I feel like if I can talk to somebody face to face, I can communicate better because I'm expressing myself. Like my face does stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's when I'm no camera, you know, on the call, trying to communicate it, and I just don't feel like I'm communicating fully. I think that's where it happens.
Mhm.
So that could be
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I don't want to read this into you. Like, I don't want to give you that problem because then you'll get on a phone call with an executive group or somebody, with power, and you'll be like, "Oh, I remember he said this only happened on the, don't take the
Yeah.
phobia on." Sorry, I'm trying to retract the curse.
No, it's okay. um so what struggles did you face along the way? Or like what was hard for you with
Yeah,
presenting or speaking or
being self-conscious, and when you're supposed to maybe overact,
Hmm.
or I still have problems like icebreaker, or like role playing.
Yeah.
Those things, I still I should be better at, and sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I don't want to. I've had bosses tell me, you gotta watch your emotions because you're very expressive, and people can tell how you feel by just looking at you. And now,
Uh-huh.
I think I've discussed this before. Now it's to my advantage.
Hmm.
The fact that I am expressive and can interact is actually an advantage.
Yeah.
But it depends on the environment. The What other challenges? Challenges are my own awkwardness thing, the thing you're talking about,
Uh-huh.
of being sure of myself. How stupid do I look? like just my, these are stupid pants, and this is a stupid shirt, and and,
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm too. My hair's bad, or yeah, my face is too fat. All those things, all of your imperfections can lead into, all of the imperfections you feel you have can lead into really limiting how well you present, or how much of a risk you're willing to take to express yourself.
Yeah.
And so those have been the challenges of just self-confidence, because you know I struggle with it all the time still. And I it's like in high school, I used to tell people I was the most liberal conservative they'd ever meet, and and
Yeah.
I and now I'm the most outgoing shy person you'll ever meet. So,
Right.
and and to the point where people want to travel with me or have me at a conference just because they know I'll do something crazy. But
Right.
not unsafe, not awkward, not uncomfortable, just I'll have fun,
Yeah.
and include everybody, because that's I just like to
Yeah.
I like people to be happy.
Yeah. That's interesting. I like sticking with a bit more. Like I remember going to a training once and they had a bunch of like star sunglasses for some sort of
Oh,
icebreaker at the beginning, and so like everyone put on your star sunglasses, and so everyone did, and then slowly throughout the rest of the training people would take them off, and I was like I like these, like they're ridiculous, so I kept them on the whole time even though they were too small for my giant head. And um
I fully support that.
yeah, it's also like I have like zero poker face or
Yeah.
anything. I think we remember playing poker one time, and I had my cards, and I was like, if this next card is this, then I have like a really great hand, and it was, and he put the card down exactly what I needed. I was like oh, like I just started like smiling and laughing
Every,
so well, and I won the hand, but like
yeah.
everyone else
Everybody.
knew well before.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're not winning this one.
Yeah. And also like I have some sticky, I get just one right now, but I have like a sticky note behind my computer here telling me to talk slower during recordings, just because I feel like I'll if I'm talking faster, I have a more chance of mumbling.
Yeah.
Because I had speech impediments. I didn't do my R's very well in school, and still sometimes it comes up.
Yeah, I was watching something recently and somebody or with around somebody and they were just I was having troubles. I think I might have my ears might have gotten older in the last couple months.
Mm,
But catching the cadence of somebody sometimes can be difficult and really this person I was just not understanding them at all. And they're
mm,
talking very fast and I like people talking fast. I just eh, I guess it's a West Coast. You're right. I mean, we all talk very fast
yeah.
compared to the South.
Right.
And yeah, it's that's always an interesting experience because I just couldn't catch. I was missing huge sections of what the person was saying,
Mm,
so
yeah.
it was weird.
Yeah. Are there things you still want to improve on?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I guess I'm at the point that if I never improved on where I'm at now, it would be fine. I can get by and be happy.
Hmm.
I think that most of the areas of improvement are just more things about being related to communication or related to speaking are more about how I make sure I'm more aware of other people, about uh, making sure that I'm asking about others, making sure that I'm aware of that I'm not unlike this, not trying to run the conversation.
Uh-huh.
I try and listen more and let
Okay.
people talk. I've really been doing that a lot lately. It's letting people not trying to control the conversation, letting people talk, especially
Hmm.
at work, because that lets people, in a cynical way, lets them hang themselves, and I don't have to. But in a
Yeah.
in a positive way, it makes them feel valued and like they're contributing as well, and that's important. I don't want to run over the top of people as much.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what do you think? Do
I
you have? I mean, you're broaching this subject. Are there areas that you want to improve in?
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is I want to be better a little more like off the cuff a little
Okay.
more. I think I can do okay if I'm prepared, and if I'm not, I think I can get there, but I have
Yeah.
a lot of space in between thoughts, and I think I don't know if I have like the halting or like a stutter when I'm speaking, but I do think I have a lot of pauses randomly, and so I think that's
Yeah.
something I want to try to improve a little more.
Well, and remember the space can be good as
Hmm.
long as you're in control of that space. I guess
Yeah,
is probably
may have
if
more
it's
control.
yeah. There's ways of presenting or speaking where there's space in your words and in your sentence that doesn't sound like you've forgotten what you were going to say,
Hmm.
but is more
Yeah,
for emphasis,
yeah.
allows the thoughts to come, lets the mood progress.
Yeah. And then just, my inflection,
Yeah,
which,
getting
yeah,
better.
I think it's gotten slowly
Qu-
better.
I think it's gotten exponentially better. So just there were periods of time where your train of thought was and speech pattern was indecipherable, and eh, not train of thought, but how you express things was indecipherable because
Hmm.
you're expressing them as if you had seen humans on TV but weren't quite sure why they communicated the way they did. And not
Yeah.
so much anymore. Not you're pretty much nailing the expressions.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's too far off from how I was feeling, like seeing other people have conversations very fluidly and being
Yeah.
like, I'm they're doing that really well, and I'm not sure why I can't.
Oh, it was it's just learning how to put the emphasis on the right syllable.
Right. um, I think I'm maybe not gonna do the excerpts. I think this has been good, but I kind of have two more questions that are
Okay.
related. So the first one is, what advice would you give to someone wanting to improve their voice, their presentation, kind of starting
Right.
fresh?
I would there a couple of things would be to focus on filler words
Hmm.
just cuz that makes you sound more sophisticated or more capable, but also read aloud.
Okay.
So figure out how you could just read to an empty room, but it's more effective if you have a partner, if you have a child, if you have some way of reading aloud
Hmm.
and reading different types of things aloud. And even reading instructions out loud
Yeah.
and being able to because what that does is it makes you have purpose to what you're saying in a very meaningful way. So if you can express to somebody the instructions that you're reading and make them understand it, make it meaningful to them, that is a talented thing and that will come into play for many conversations because you do need to communicate process at times. And
Yeah.
so if you know how to and you've done it before because you've read it aloud, that's a good
Hmm.
thing.
Right.
We've on this over the course of this, we've read a lot of instructions.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how crazy that is, but how entertaining some of those are.
Right. Yeah. When I was talking to Chloe about this. I was telling her, like, sometimes, uh, especially earlier on when I wasn't reading very much, I would kind of read quietly out loud, just
Yeah.
so like my mouth was doing something while I was reading, so I would be a little more focused. And she was like, I did that all the time too, like especially with like scripture or stuff
Yeah.
where it's
Yes.
it's hard to read, hard to understand. Sometimes she would just
I,
like quietly speak aloud.
I think it's that trick. Uh, I can I can remember things if I write it down.
Hmm.
And so sometimes if I want to remember stuff, I'll just write it without a pen. I'll
Oh,
just I'll
yeah.
just I'll just be on the desk with my finger and I'll go take out the garbage at 9 o'clock and I'll write it.
Yeah.
Like and so same with that is you're kind of tricking yourself because maybe you are good at hearing people read to you. Well,
Hmm.
read to yourself.
No.
You are tricking yourself to. It's a different way. You are hearing it instead of just trying to, and then you maybe wander less too.
Right.
So if you're reading, if you're even if it's quiet, if you're reading it loud, you are just doing those words, and the wandering stops a little bit
Yeah.
too. So that's a good thing too. That's why the out loud is important, and you have to hear how you sound.
Yeah.
And if you're a real if you really want to, masochist, record yourself and then listen back to it and see how you sound. I've tried even going so far as to singing, and oh, I think I sound really good. Let's see if I do. And just it's humbling,
Hmm.
but it's also it's an exercise. Just it's okay to be humbled by the fact that you're terrible at whatever you're doing. So yeah,
Yeah.
you'll get better.
Yeah.
You uh when I recorded the poem, it took a few because I'd listen to a section and I'd be like, ah, that's not what I want.
Hmm.
so
Right.
so cool.
Yeah. And then next part is, what advice would you give to me that we haven't covered?
To you, I would say keep going in the direction you're going because there's been a lot of positive changes. I think that conversations like this are helpful. And I think that
Hmm.
the most engaging bits that we've done have been, see, I've learned from you about you have a really good ability to write questions. And I don't know, I don't quite know what brings that about, except for I know that uh, you are more empathetic than I am.
Hmm.
I have to try really,
Uh-huh.
really hard because I'm super self-centered. So, because my mommy told me I was cool. So, and I have to deal with that all the time. So, uh, you're more empathetic, and so you have an ability to see what people, how people are maybe, and how to write a question that is more complete.
Hmm.
So you've come up with far better questions. I'm terrible at coming up with questions to ask
Yeah.
beforehand. I might have, but I can engage, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the difference,
Right.
and it's part of just how I have to use things. But I am more often engaging with somebody cold and then having to ask the questions that get to the point or discover more
Uh-huh.
on something I haven't heard before. So I don't prepare questions ever, hardly ever. I don't
Uh-huh.
prepare because I know that the nature of my interactions with most people is probably going to go in a direction I can't understand. I've never thought of,
Hmm.
just how it is,
Right.
or it's a topic I know very well, and so I don't have to ask questions.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
so
it's interesting that like that comes across as empathetic because sometimes I feel like it's me being judgmental. So like interacting with like some of Chloe's extended family, we
yeah,
would interact with them and then I'd come home and I'd be like, it seems like this is the dynamic of the family, or
yeah,
like, or I'd be like, oh, I don't like that I don't like how they like treated that person. I feel like, and I'd say
right.
something and she's like, that's exactly what it is.
Oh,
Like how you just
uh,
know
uh,
my whole family dynamic through one interaction.
yeah. So that is again, I'm full of myself, but your mom
Uh-huh.
and I both, especially your mom, has talent of reading people.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have. I know that you have it too, and I think it is it is empathy. Okay,
Hmm.
we can feel more so. You probably get it from your mom, knowing how people are driven, but I also, mine is more negative because it's, I can see when people are trying to take advantage of stuff.
Hmm. Okay.
That's just, that's my promised gift, is that I can see that. Um, yeah, no, I mean, and we play that game, and we, it's silly. We watch reality TV more than you'd
Hmm.
think we would,
Yeah.
and interact with a large swath of people, and kind of can tap in. It's just, it's life. We want to experience everything.
Yeah.
You feel that way too. I know we've tried really hard to foster that. I'm glad that it's taken to that degree, that you kind of intuitively can read people,
Hmm.
and can see context clues. And a lot of people, again, a lot of people don't pay attention to context clues. A lot of people don't do these things. It's kind of funny when it's foreign to somebody. It's very second nature to you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting. I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that you can do that. Uh, I think you come by it honestly.
Okay. Oh, good.
Uh, oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
glad.
yeah. I think yeah. Well, that's all I have for this, and
Okay.
yeah, I think that's good. I think it'll be helpful. I just yeah, it's something I think about, pretty much every week, having
Yeah.
to, edit these and thinking about how I come across, and maybe it's, you know, being self-centered or
Yeah.
self-conscious or whatever. But I just wanted to, take some time to see if there was, room for improvement or guidance. And
yeah, you get the self-conscious badge, I get the self-centered badge. So that's my struggle. I have to fight against it.
yeah.
My characteristic I'm working on is far less desirable, and people are far less forgiving of. And yours, people are much more forgiving of and supportive of. So you're winning right now. You're lucky because people like self-improvement where you're struggling. They hate they wish you'd improve when you're overbearing and full of yourself. So that is my struggle. That's been my struggle all along. So but it's fun. It's an interesting world.
Well, thanks for letting me kind of drop this on you and ask a bunch of questions.
It's great. Love it.
Sorry I didn't actually come with any like art thing to talk about, but I thought it'd be a fun change of pace for a minute.
It's the art of conversation.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. It is an art. So keep up on it. Keep thinking about it. You'll as you think about it, you'll also see other people talking about it, and you'll notice how people talk and how people communicate, and you'll grow from that as well. Well,
sounds good.
Well, this has been another week of Like Pigs from Space, an arts and culture podcast, and this is Aaron Mason.
This is Max Mason.
And thanks for listening.
Bye.